And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to NECC Esports for some more Rocket League action. We're bringing you some Champions Division, Boise State versus University of Alabama, Huntsville. I am Lars Newt, and I'm going to be bringing you the action with the one, the only, the Foof. Foof, how you doing? Thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and or dreams?
Well, I have all of those at the same time, but I can't spell them all at the same time. I'm working on it here, Lars, but I'm so excited to be in the booth with you finally. So we got some exciting Week 8 action here. These two teams have played before, so it's a bit of a back and forth. They already had some feel, but that was all the way in Week 1. So these guys already know how they play. They've had some time to get the film, and so hopefully we'll see a little bit different in that end result.
Well, talking about difference in end results, we haven't really seen a difference in end results for University of Alabama, Huntsville, UAH. They have won every single week prior, with the one exception of the week they had a bye week. But the closest they've come is Northern Kentucky took them all the way to Game 5. Outside of that, it's been Game 4 or a clean sweep on the side of UAH. Boise State, on the other hand, dropped 1 to Montana, 1-3. But have also been doing very well. And another one to Alabama Crimson, 0-3, which Alabama just bringing a lot of heat into this conference.
Well, you know, it's always fun to go against that Crimson Tide. They were very hot there. And so another loss that this Boise State squad has when they fell to University of Alabama in Huntsville. And so it's important to them to try and make that up. You rarely get a chance to go against a team that got the broom out against you. So you're trying to get that back together. You're hoping that you finally had the time a couple weeks in the bag now that you fixed it. You know what you did there, and you can look and try and pull it back and get one here for you.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of seeing this Boise State team play before, and they're a solid team. They're going to need to take on this UAH team, though. UAH, like we said, they are undefeated. That's going to be such a tough team to take down. We get into the mental game of what's happening here. Coming into this, UAH has a huge advantage. They get to come in and say, hey, we're on top. We know we're the best right now. It is on Boise State to threaten that, and Boise State has to come in as in a way, kind of an underdog that has to step up to that plate and take down this UAH team.
Well, the thing that I heard coming in was that Boise State is this underdog team, that they like that role. They fit it well. They know how to play against some of those better teams. And maybe it's just that off-meta style, or maybe it's something that you can kind of have that trap game, and that's what this team thrives on. And so it's important here for those Broncos to press, to find ways to not only keep the game how they want it, but set tempos, find physicality, do something that knocks them off of their peg.
Yeah, I think physicality and coming out hot, just like you said, is going to be the absolute key here. Boise State needs to lead this series off with tons of speed, tons of aggression. As the players take the field, we have Instinct, Baynock, and Cosmo Buster on the side of Boise State. Aura, X, and Taka for UAH.
Well, right now, the pressure here early for this blue side. The near post shot won't find its way, but Cosmo able to clean it up, and a quick goal already here for the Broncos. Striking early, coming through there. Beautiful from Ben.
Well, geez, Foof, we asked them to come out quick. That's about as quick as you're going to get 8 seconds in. And already your Boise State team has found a way to take the lead here. But can they hold it? That's going to be the question. Consistency is king in Rocket League.
Very much so, and now it's up to Aurora here to get it out. He's actually going to get a chance here, pushing it on. It's up to Instinct, able to slow it back down. Now X looking for off the backboard, a little wide there as Aurora waits for it. No, Baynock able to get this one, so he's got the 2 here. Boise State on this counterattack, trying to get something going here as Aurora waits for it, pushes it off the backboard. Dangerous here, but Aurora able to throw that one back away. Slowing back down, there's a little bit of a tennis match here as X looking for the quick shot in there, but Cosmo Buster able to deny that one early.
Lots of ping pong back and forth. We're seeing these teams very quick to throw the ball downfield in the clear attempt and not really keep it close, keep control. As we finish out this kind of feel each other out period, I'd expect to see that settle down a bit.
We get past this 1 minute mark here with only 7 seconds left. It's X trying to open it up, going for something there, but the ceiling not his friend. Baynock able to turn this one back around towards Huntsville's side. Now Instinct throwing it off the backboard, looking for the third mirror. Coming up is Cosmo, but not able to get the touch, so the counterattack opportunity from Taka. Now in the corner, got the boost, has the ball. Very good play here, but Instinct, that slow, patient, methodical approach was just enough to turn that one away.
Boise State leading with some of that physicality. They picked up 2 demos so far. One of them, X, got that big demo that was demoed in their own net to open up an opportunity, but they just can't find a way to capitalize on that and make a strike happen. Extend this lead out a little bit. Baynock with an opportunity touched away by Taka.
Got to be careful there on the back half. UAH triple committing there, but enough bodies in front of the ball. There's Instinct now. No one home. All alone has Baynock mid, but going to take it themselves. A good job getting 2-0 here early for your Boise State Broncos.
Wow, Instinct is an incredible player. We've seen them recently just absolutely pop off. When they get those connections between Baynock, Instinct, and Cosmo Buster, that team play, they can be absolutely deadly in the offensive end.
Well, right now, everybody is eating but Baynock, but they have the assist, so the team play has been there for the Broncos. The Chargers kind of caught off guard here as Taka has to get an early save, caught off guard again as it comes back to their backboard. X now trying to get a 50 here, not actually have to do it. So Instinct keeping the pressure on. It's up to Baynock here to get to it. Taka, a missed touch there. It's thrown back around. Instinct waiting for it here. Aurora has to get a touch. That push off the backboard is a little bit less favorable than he wanted, so it turns back around here.
Seeing Alabama Huntsville play off the back foot a lot here. They're spending a lot of time in their own end. Actually, about 34% of the time, they've managed to get this downfield and into the attacking end for Boise. On Boise, excuse me. Need to see them break free and then pin this back in Boise's end to find a way to even up some of this balance of pressure.
You got to find something, but the demos are just relentless here from Boise State. Another one coming through as Instinct trying to keep this pressure on his Taka, finding the way as their third player to push it back out. Another demo trying to get a second there on Aurora. That means another one comes through, but X able to get on, but he's a little bit too aggressive and leaves the net. The far post shot for Instinct.
Instinct, talk about Instinct shooting over here, recognizes that flow of momentum across the front of the net and just puts it behind him. And once you get that momentum across the net, that ball's behind you. You are not turning it back around. A great placement and a well done turn by Instinct to extend this lead out to 3 just by halfway.
What's always fun here is everyone eats again, but Baynock not able to get a goal, but a pair of assists. So trying for the playmaker there, and looks like Instinct trying for the hat trick. Maybe they can get it going here. You're hopefully hoping that UAH can find something here. The pressure just hasn't been good for them. They haven't been able to find the passes. They're looking for it there as both players up, but it's just falling a little bit errant, not able to get the touches. This is something they're probably not used to.
What's interesting to me is I tend not to give a lot of credence to the scores on the scoreboard because we know it can't be quite representative of the gameplay. But when you have big directional changes, it's pretty telling. Right now, Aurora and X combined barely managing 100 points between them. Taka, the only player over 100 at 150, and it's just interesting to see as they struggle to get involved in this game at all.
Well, now the demo comes through. So turn for a little bit quick turn here is Aurora, though, but Cosmo Buster just being annoying enough to get the touch there. And then another one on top of X just turns it back around. Just a really good midfield trap right now from the Broncos. They're not allowing the pressure just to kind of sit on their side. They throw it back up, push the backboard, look for these boosts. Just really keeping this UAH squad just off. The Chargers having no room to just do anything.
Yeah, this ball has spent so much time down in UAH's end of the field. They need to find a way to get it clear. And as they struggle to get it, there's one. Taka just barely touches it away. They attack it. That's broken up by X. Excuse me. Wow. But it's going to continue with that pressure. They just can't get past that midfield wall.
Well, there and now it's up to Taka here, finally getting on this blue half, but no, just throwing the ball there. No teammate there. X trying to go for the demo, not able to get it, so it falls back away. Boise State just kind of enjoying the collection. Now it falls back. It's up to Aurora here. It gets bumped. Instinct not able to read that one. A little bit misfavorable here, but allows it to go off that backward. Able to stay on it. X now trying to put the pressure on, find that far post shot, but not able to find it this time.
Pressure continues to mount as Boise State is running away with this. Less than 20 seconds remain on the clock. 3 goals is a tall order for this Alabama Huntsville team. They need to find a way to make some magic happen. With Cosmo Buster off the crossbar, it looks like as the clock ticks below 10, that is going to be it. And Boise State, reversing their fortunes from the first time these two teams met, take game 1 in just absolutely stunning fashion.
Well, it's up to Instinct here. He's trying to put one more, put the nail in the coffin, but the demo from Aurora denies that one. And you said it yourself, kind of denying the fates. They will at least get game 1 here, Lars. And so a very good job from the Broncos starting this off.
I love the way they came out of the gate quick. They came out of the gate aggressive. They got that first goal 8 seconds in, and then they absolutely hemmed UAH back in their own end of the field. And as the time continued to tick on, UAH just didn't seem to be getting any advantages back the other way. They struggled to continue to bring that pressure upfield. I'm going to throw real quick. I don't like to do it too early, but come on. Look at this activity heat map. This is tracking all the players on the field, and you could just see how terribly dominated UAH was, stuck back in their own end of the field. I mean, I'm going to draw it, but do you really need it? Come on. This is all just UAH penned back, where Boise State's allowed to roam free up and down the field. And part of the reason they can do that, demos. Oh my goodness, the demos. Look how many Boise was able to get right down at the top of the box on top of UAH.
Physicality is always an important thing, setting that tone, setting that mentality, Lars. And so the ability of not only finding demos, but finding good demos to pressure it and continue to stay aggressive. It was beautiful there from Boise State. And so now we want to see if they can continue to kind of create that midfield trap, force 3-on-2s, find the demo and the boost. Or can UAH, can these Chargers find ways to collect boosts, maybe not on their own side, and avoid a demo or get a demo of their own and create a counterattack? Because when you're pressing as hard as the Broncos were, you start to cheat up. You smell that blood in the water. You want that ball off the backboard. And all of a sudden, your third's just a little bit too far up, and a big clear can catch you napping.
Well, credit where credit's due. We still see a lot of demos on the side of UAH as well. They just haven't found a way to capitalize on it. They haven't found a way to use that in a clear. I like what they're doing. They're getting physical right up in the face of Boise as well, but they have a nasty habit of when they get that ball in their own end, they bang it clear. They just send it deep down the field, and that allows Boise to just collect it and re-attack. Keep that ball close. Catch it on the nose of your car. Take advantage of some of these demos that are opening up in the midfield to drive down and use an established attack as opposed to just dump and chase.
Well, sometimes, the best plan is the worst plan, right, Lars? If you never plan, then they can never know what you're doing. But right now, both of these teams back in early, ready to get this game in series continued. As Baynock coming to it again. He was the dish earlier, but serving it up himself this time and finding the goal. Oh, my goodness gracious. Boise State kickoff to OP.
Wow. 8 seconds in the last one, 3 in this one. 3 seconds was all it took to get them in this game off the bat. And as one of the players appears to have disconnected, having a little bit of connection issues there, we'll have to see how our match officials want to handle that. And right now it looks like UAH isn't really eager to play it, but Boise is. They take a lead now, up 13 seconds in.
Well, I mean, that was a quick strike there from Boise early, and they're able to do it again, finding the opportunities in a 3v2. It was just very unfortunate. So what in the world is happening? But Boise State pouncing. They do not want to be the ones that give this up. And so right now we're just kind of, I don't really know, Lars. I've never had this one really happen before.
This is an interesting scenario as the players, it looks like they're going to be content to just kind of bop this ball around the field. Maybe look for some shooting opportunities. There's a beautiful pass. And regardless of how this is going to play out going forward, this is great practice on the side of Boise State to set up some of these pass plays and learn to read and get some more cohesion. And honestly, it's just that much more of an advantage back over to Boise State.
Well, I think I'm looking at chat here. I think we're going to be remaking, so we're going to back out of this one. A little bit of technical fun here, not technical difficulties, Lars Newt. I got to say, no matter where I go, the first night is always the most adventurous. So I apologize for bringing you down tonight, but we're going to continue to have fun.
No, we're not bringing down. We're just having fun with it. Just like you said, it's an interesting problem to overcome, and that's what we do here. That's why we get paid the big bucks, is to overcome these problems. But like I said, Boise State gets a good advantage in that game because it's going to throw UAH off a little bit mentally, having gone through this little bit of an experience, we will call it. And as time goes forward, they need to find a way to mentally recover from that. And also to point out, Boise State, that first goal, that was 100% legitimate. Everybody was full up both teams, and they still managed to find a way to score in 3 seconds.
Kickoff goes are OP. Not even only in ones. They can be OP in threes if you know how to win them. And just beautiful pressure. I don't know if it's planned. We've seen it back to back, so it could be planned. You could have that aggressive rotation on kickoffs, and that's something I want to look for here as we start to see more and more. And so maybe they can find another way, or maybe it was just unfortunate there for them. They're not going to have that one on the board, and so they just have to do it again.
Well, Boise State continues to ride the wave of momentum. They got a little bit of extra practice in there with that server reset. And as we get ready to get into the next game, this will be game number 2 of our best of 5 series between UAH and Boise State. If you're just joining us, this is NECC, Collegiate Esports. And if you want to see Rocket League action, this is the place to get it. So make sure you drop a follow, you subscribe, bits, whatever it is you need to make sure you stay up to date. Show some love to the people behind the scenes that are making all of this happen. In addition, we have all kinds of socials. I'm sure there's a way someone out here can go ahead and get you a hand on those socials, stay up to date on everything that's happening with NECC Sports.
Got to make sure you stay up to date, not only for us, so that way you can come listen to us, but so you can watch some more exciting Rocket League and maybe people not leaving the game and figuring it out. But we're going to be great here. We're getting these teams back in. I'm so excited. So game one did not go how I thought it was going to go. I thought UAH was going to be a little bit more offensively oriented. Maybe that was some server. Maybe it was some warm-up stuff that didn't happen. So luckily for them, they got a mulligans.
Yeah, so the thing to note here is these teams coming from opposite ends of the countries, we are flipping servers back and forth between East and West, and that does give a little bit of advantage to one team or the other based on ping. You could see UAH in that first game had 100+ ping for 2 of their players. That could make it a little bit more challenging, especially when you are getting challenged quickly like Boise State was able to manage. The thing with ping to note is when the other players aren't touching the ball, it doesn't matter. You could have the highest ping in the world. It's just when they make contact with the ball, that's where that delay starts to become an issue. And Boise State, very aggressive, takes advantage of it.
It's going to be up to them to continue kind of playing against that now, because I think they should have a little bit higher ping now, as it looks like it is going to be that way. And so, you usually don't have a home field advantage in esports, Lars, but maybe this is something you're leaning more towards.
Yeah, as the national nature of what we do here at NECC does lend a little bit of credence to that, but it doesn't lead it to the UAH team. As off the bat, we already see early pressure here out of Boise.
Cosmo Buster said it doesn't matter how much ping I have. He tried to pull the trigger off the backboard to get that early goal. Boise State will not be denied early, but unfortunately not able to find it this time. Instinct has to be careful here. A little bit awkward in the air, but able to stop it. X and the Chargers trying to find something here. Nice touch mid. He's got one there waiting for it, but Aurora not there in time, and it's turned away quickly by Boise State. A counterattack opportunity turned away by Taka. A little bit more of this ping pong as we start to feel each other out on this new server.
It's interesting to see both these teams, again, happy to just dump this ball down on the other end and try to chase it down the field. I would expect them to try to keep it a little bit more closer, a little bit better control, especially when we know Boise can hit these nasty passing plays and get good pressure upfield, but they as well are happy to just bang it down and go after it.
Get a little bit of home run ball, just throw it back around, hit it as far as you can, get some air under it and stand and watch as it's all up to Baynock, and he's going to slam it down back left. I was kind of leaning in my chair a little bit there, Lars. I didn't know if it was going to fall in, but it slowly finds its way in.
That's an unfortunate touch out of Aurora, and this is one of the reasons you want to keep that ball close, especially in the defensive end. If you bang it off the wall, it only has one direction to go, and that's back out in front of your net. A great read out of Baynock to take advantage of that, and I believe that's their first of the series. They finally get one of their own after feeding a couple of assists, and there's going to be a second one from high over the mid.
Well, quickly back up is Baynock X. Another errant touch here from UAH, passing it to probably not the familiar colors, that blue Bronco, but beautiful job by Baynock. Couldn't score, but had a pair of assists in that first game. I don't know if they had any in the game that doesn't exist, but coming out, getting a pair here makes it 1 goal per game for them on the stat sheet. So very happy, but 3D Aurora had a chance. Can't bang it home as a big save from Instinct turns that one around.
Really like the rotational play that we're seeing here. And now there's a back pass. We asked for some control play, and right now Boise's attempting to execute. They're coming up a little bit shy when it comes to that actual execution, but this is a positive development as they look for this control play. They're going to be more and more deadly as time goes on.
X, though, very speedy there, able to put it off the backboard. Needs some control here from Taka, but Baynock turns that one away. Aurora in a hard spot here, has to find some control. You talked about it as a nice touch there. Means X has a chance to beat Cosmo. Now a little bit of a one-on-one. X trying to make the read. A nice pass mid, but Cosmo is the only one there waiting for it. The Chargers not able to get that offensive third that they want to have. Oh, Cosmo, you got to be careful here. Throwing it back down. Instinct had a chance, but Baynock unable to find it. Now it's up in the corner, coming back around. A quick turnaround. No, X forgot the ball. Tactical whiff, so now Cosmo throwing it on, but a good save from Aurora. Taka with a quick turnaround. Now has a chance coming back down. Taka able to find it off it for themselves.
That's just an awkward turn here. A couple of what you call them tactical whiffs. Taka sends this down. Aurora goes up for it, tries to make the read and misses that read out of the corner. It can be very difficult to tell if it's going to bounce up or bounce out. In this case, it bounces out, and it's going to be Taka to finish their own pass. But I do want to say something real quick. Foof, I don't know if you've heard this one before, but we don't make mistakes in Rocket League. It's either calculated or it's server lag. None of us have ever made a mistake. It's all perfect. It just comes down to who gets lucky on the server lag.
Well, I had a teammate of mine once say it's fakes, not mistakes. And I got to say, those have been words to live by as Aurora trying to turn it back around. Baynock has a teammate waiting for it, but Instinct cut underneath. Cosmo Buster able to keep the pressure on that midfield trap, starting to reform here. It had some holes punched in it early, but now this Boise State Broncos squad has a chance. Instinct putting it down, but not enough. But Cosmo, being the janitor, that man cheating up, able to put it in that top left corner. Great job.
I love this attack. Baynock wins a huge 50. Instinct into the crossbar, baits out X as they try to go up and make the read, and then Cosmo Buster with the follow through. I know, Foof, you and I had a chance to talk last night a little bit about one of the things you can kind of expect to see out of these teams, and that it is right there, that quick turn offense, that ability to attack the net and reattack until you get your opportunity.
I almost pinned it to say that is exactly what we were talking about, Lars, but X trying to get something quick of their own there. A nice touch off the backboard, but it falls away from there. Now UAH on the counterattack. Instinct a little bit awkward here, a little bit more awkward than I thought. Now you have both players on the backboard. Taka looking for a quick turnaround. That's going to be a little bit too high. Baynock denying that one. Boise State was kind of relieved there, just kind of breathing a sigh of relief, but it comes back the wrong way again. Taka throwing it off the backboard. Instinct, though, denying it this time. I think this one's going to finally settle down here, but X able to push it back on, comes back into the corner again. Finally, some pressure here from the Chargers. Now it's up to Aurora, the soft touch. No, he's actually going to push it up into the corner. I don't like this idea here. It's turned away. X, though, throwing it mid. Baynock, quick turnaround. Taka, you got to get home.
Game two, significantly, well, actual game two, significantly more balanced than we saw out of game one, but it's still to the advantage of Boise State. They're playing generally more control of the ball. They spend more time in the offensive end. The only thing that UAH really has going for them right now is they are the faster team, but it's not going to matter if X is throwing own goals.
That was a beautiful job reading the mistouch there from Taka. Lost control. We talked about it, but Instinct, beautiful control. Just that soft kiss of the tire pushing it down. An unfortunate, unforced error there, and collected beautifully by the Boise State Broncos.
I love to see that pressure, that attack, and unfortunately X just awkwardly positioned on the goal line. Helps Boise State out. Now we're less than a minute. Boise State yet again with a commanding 3-goal lead, and now they're looking for some clip shots. So that would have been a disgusting angle. They just can't quite find it. And still UAH needs to find a way to get back in this game.
Some aerial antics indeed here, Lars, as right now the backflip comes through from X. Not a favorable touch off the backboard. Cosmo is there. The soft touch, not able to find it. The pace was there. The ball was there. The play was there, but the shot left a little bit to be desired. Now it's up to Boise State, who's in the defensive half. Finally there for them is Instinct now. No one home, but gets demoed for his trouble by Taka. X turning it back around. It just continues to tick here. I think this is going to be game two going toward Boise State.
Yeah, now mathematically impossible for the comeback. Now UAH looking for one more for the road, and it's denied by Cosmo Buster, who touches that one away. BSU now on game point in just 2 games. Match point, game point. Match point in just 2 games. They've played on both sides of East and West servers, and they have set themselves up so beautifully to reverse the script on week 1 against UAH.
When you see those stats, Lars, those are my favorite types of game from Boise State. Everybody eats. Everyone got a goal. Almost everyone got an assist, but Baynock had a pair earlier, so it splits into 1 for the one. They should have had the cycle there. And just a beautiful job, unrelenting pressure, finding ways not only to find the ball off of the pass, but find it off the backboard, find it off of your opponent's cars in some cases, and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, the one thing we see here is, like I said earlier, UAH averaging about 4 kilometers an hour faster than BSU. And as you know, speed is so critical in this game of Rocket League. If you can find a way to translate that speed into some control and some aggression, some pressure downfield, you can be very dangerous. Something about threes is you have 3 players. Take advantage of it. You should never, ever, ever give your opponents any breathing room. If you have 3 players on the field, you've got 1 challenging, 1 rotating, and 1 picking up boost. Always, every single time, without fail.
Without fail, you have to do it. That's why you trust your teammates. You trust them where they need to be. You're hoping that they can follow you up if you have that errant touch, or if you get that solid 50. You have to be ready for those quick change opportunities that could go from defense to offense. And right now, BSU's been on top of it, but UAH, they've proven that they can do these things, and maybe they're trying to set up some intrigue here. They're down 2. They just need to turn it back around. Maybe they want to get the different broom out this time.
Well, so far here, we've seen 1 game that was super physical, super heavy in the demos. Now, this last game, only 3 between the 2 teams. Going forward, it's going to be interesting to see if that strategy changes up a little bit. But so far, both of those end with a BSU victory. I'd like to see UAH translate some of that speed into the physicality to flip that back on back on Boise.
Right now, Boise State in a very familiar state. The kickoff goes their way. They've got the pressure on, but no shot this time as we finally get past the 10-second mark. But Baynock trying to put that one in, not able to find it. Now Instinct putting it on, but X there waiting in the middle net collects that save for themselves. Cosmo Buster keeping that pressure on, but Aurora calmly waiting for this. I like the nice slow play now as Baynock puts it on. X has to get the save, but he can't do it. Instinct collects it. Another early Boise State goal.
And this you see right here is why you are always challenging your opponents. That's a great pressure out of Baynock to force, I believe it was Aurora with that ball, into an awkward position. They had to make a choice. They lose the 50. It leaves nobody home on defense. X does the best with what they have. Unfortunately, Instinct is coming downfield with heat. They slam that one home, and yet again, early, Boise State finds the lead.
Please nerf. Their early game is too strong is what the patch notes are going to say next week as Instinct throws it over looking for Baynock. He's able to get a 50 here, keeps it in the corner. Nice touchdown, trying to be aggressive here as Instinct playing off of that as well. X finally, thankfully, able to turn this one back around as UAH just gets some breathing room. Boost finally for them as Taka goes for the little bit of physical play, but Instinct, that third man back, being in the right position, able to turn this one away for Boise.
Instinct makes a good physical rotation there. They get out ahead of the ball, and instead of abandoning the attack, they rotate upfield through the opponent, get some good bumps to try to continue it, but unfortunately they can't find a way to convert. Here's an opportunity, but Instinct elects to roll away and staying with it. Boost over ball, and we'll see if it's punished.
That certainly was a confusing couple of seconds there, Lars, but right now X trying to put the pressure back on. He's got Taka up there, but not up in time. Baynock putting that on. Not a lot of boost there. You're dangerous here. X with the redirect attempt, but a good save by Instinct. Oh man, you rarely see those opportunities of 2-on-1, and the one wins, but a beautiful goal line stand here from Boise State.
I saw that ball get chipped up. I saw Instinct make an awkward rotation, get out ahead of it, and I thought they're dead to rights. This is goals for UAH, but Instinct somehow gets back to that ball, and this has become such a difficult thing for UAH. They not only have to find a way to shut down Boise's offense, they have to find a way to shut down their defense too.
Well, sometimes the best offense is a good defense, and right now Boise State doing enough, but it doesn't matter if you get demoed, but Baynock able to be there in time. Instinct has to make a big save here and ends up pushing it back out. Now Cosmo Buster on this back foot, waiting for the touch here from Taka, who puts it wide left. Unfortunate there. X now peppering the backboard. A good attempt here from Cosmo, but X able to find it and squeak it through and tie this game 3 up.
As time goes on, this game gets more and more even between these two teams. X with a beautiful little negative angle shot to the far side of the net. Managed to draw all of Boise State into that corner and force them to dive all the way across to try to make the save. I think if you're Boise State, you need to put this series away right now, or you risk the reverse sweep.
Well, it's up to Boise State. They've been the controllers of the tempo. They've been controllers of the possession. You've seen it on the Eye of Newt, but now Baynock has to find something here as Taka putting it on a little bit high there. Now a misplay from Cosmo, but able to get it off the touch, but X collecting another goal, putting themselves up 2-1.
You attack, and you attack again, and you attack again. All three players, Taka to the backboard, Aurora to the backboard, and then finally X with the 50 puts that one high in the top shelf. And at the time, like you said, you attack the net enough, you draw out all the players, there's nobody home when you go to take that shot.
Well, now it's up to Aurora and company. They get a little bit of a kickoff win here as Baynock in a very just something they're probably not used to, but a nice touch there from the two of them. A beautiful pinch play, but Taka turns it around. 2-on-2 opportunity here by Cosmo. Banging it back, and it's going to come back from Aurora. Everyone just kind of taking a touch here, throwing it back around. Boise State needs to get some control here, get the pace back on a double commit. That's dangerous here as Taka able to get it past one, but Instinct able to slow that ball down, thankfully, and give his teammates some time.
Aurora off the ceiling. We're seeing UH start to bring out some mechanical skill. Is it going to be enough? That one's passed to center dangerously, and Instinct elects to go back for boost yet again. That's something that scares me a little bit about Boise State. We've seen Instinct in particular bail on the ball for boost. I don't care if you have 0 boost. If you are the near player in threes, you challenge that ball every single time. Cosmo looking for the bump. Instinct looking to finish, but Taka makes a big save across the front of the net.
Beautiful attempt there, turned by the wayside, not because of errant offense, but because of beautiful defense. We talked about it. What could be a good offense is a great defense, and you're seeing it here from UAH. They have to bend but not break Aurora. No, you can't do that. You put it in the wrong net again.
Well, X has company now in own goal city. Instinct plays this one down. In Aurora's defense, they had to make a play on that ball. The next closest player is Baynock, racing downhill with all the speed and momentum in the world, ready to slam that ball home. And unfortunately for Aurora, they're just in a bit of an awkward position, a little bit too out in front of the net, and that allows it down. That one's off the post. Here's the attack again from Aurora. And right now, this is the closest this has been at the end of the game. Tied at 60 seconds remaining. And for once, Boise State doesn't have this one on a runaway.
Well, right now, this UAH Charger squad, they've just been peppering this left side of the board. It's going to be another soft kiss to the left, and it might be the kiss of death here for Boise State in game 3 as they hop back up by 1.
We see this shift of momentum, the double commit out of Boise State as they desperately try to get that ball clear of the shooting lane. And unfortunately, they just get out 50'd by UAH. That's an easy follow through to clean it up as the double commit leaves nobody home. And like I said, Boise State, you put a little pressure on them. I didn't say this. I'm saying this now. I'm saying now is you put a little pressure on them and they start to fall apart. They're starting to crack. They're not used to being in this position in this series.
Well, maybe it's just that game 3 magic. You get a little bit too excited. They got too much. Oh, we're up on them. We're going to do it. And then you get a little bit too far in game 3 as now Cosmo Buster an errant touch there. But you know what? It's controlled chaos. If you don't know what you're doing, there's no way they can know what you're doing. And they got turned away in the end there.
15 seconds remain on this clock, and it looks to be UAH with the advantage. Instinct off the crossbar. They need to turn this one around. They've only got a few seconds left to force overtime here in game 3 and put this series away. Taka will deny it, and that is game 3. Well, not quite. There it is. That is game 3 to the advantage of UAH. They find a way to stay alive in this series.
They keep their even alive, Lars, and that means we get at least one more game to cast, and I'm so excited. A beautiful display there from them, turning it around. Just, I don't know if they have someone just they were talking to, if they've been taking notes themselves. They did a beautiful job of making the adjustments between game 1 and game 2, bringing it closer, and now game 2 to game 3. They found ways to break through that mid-trap. They found ways to be aggressive off that backboard, and they found ways to finally start scoring.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about what's happening here, we're going to bring up the touch heat map, and this heat map shows you where every touch on the ball has happened so far. The one thing I don't like out of what I'm seeing from these teams right now is if you look at the walls of this heat map, you're seeing lots and lots of activity, but then as you look at the center of this map, there's not a lot going on in here. I'd like to see some of these attacks focused more directly on the net. You get much better shooting angles. When you're attacking from the corner, one of these corners, look, you only have this much angle to shoot on the net. It gives you a much smaller shooting area, and it makes it much easier for the defense to defend. What I'd like to see is a lot of these shots now happening from more in front of the net. Get that ball cleared to mid, and then bring that attack back in from the outside to give yourself a better scoring opportunity. And honestly, both sides of the ball, both these teams need to find a way to execute on that.
Another cool, interesting thing is that it seems Boise State's been very heavy right-handed, and then answering the call is UAH. They've been very heavy left-handed. So, usually that means you'll see some kind of meshing of not being in the same place, but the ball has just been kind of on that wall most of that game 3 there. And so it's kind of interesting to see what it's usually considered opposite styles coming in to be similar play. And so you want to see, as you said, who can get it off of that wall and maybe go to the other side where you're not comfortable and where it seems your opponents aren't comfortable.
Oh, and what I'm going to speculate on this is part of this is just both these teams have stepped up the level of aggression. They're being more active in getting in the face of their opponents. So as one team drives that wall, the other team is stepping up to meet them. And that's why you see this overlap of both these teams down along that, well, from our perspective, that left side of the wall here and less on the other side. The other thing I see, though, is the demos kind of ironically on the back side away from that activity. They're trying to disrupt that rotation in the back end. I think that's exactly the strategy. Take advantage of that. You're a way player. But now in game 4, as Leachy loves to say, this is where you find out what a team is made of.
Well, it's an important game here as Boise State trying to put it away again, but X and company want to deny it. They want to force this exciting game 5. They want to turn it back around and just kind of make Boise State sweat more. Baynock, a nice touch there off the dominance. Instinct up in time, but not able to go at the counterattack. Should be home free from X, who touches it in quickly. It wasn't Boise State this time with the early goal.
For the first time, and this really just goes to show that shift in momentum we've been seeing. And what I said earlier, Boise State may regret not putting this one away in game number 3, because as the time has gone on, Boise State crushed game number 1, got off to a much better start in game 2, but it started to fall apart at the end. Game 3, we're starting to see UAH get a little bit more momentum. They walk away with the victory late in game 3, and now in game number 4, they have the early lead. UAH is just on the uptick.
They're starting to get hot. You're finally starting to see Uncle Mo switch sides here as Instinct caught in a little bit of a hard spot as a double commits come through. Taka looking off the backboard, has Aurora there, but not able to get it because both players are there from the Broncos. Cosmo pushing into the corner. You have to be careful here. Low boost means Taco able to keep the pressure on. That's gonna try and fall, but a good save there from Instinct. Now Baynock kind of lost there, and Taka putting it back in the self-oop and able to finish it this time.
That's a great physical play here, and a couple things that happen. Instinct put in an awkward position, tries to take that ball away, but they leave it in the shooting lane. And I don't know if you saw, but there was a bump in the rotation from underneath to take away that last defender and allow UAH to extend this lead out to 2.
The physical plays that you talked about, what you wanted to see more of, and that was on that ball side. So maybe an adjustment there as X and company hop out 2 here quickly. X, though, in the corner, taking that boost, being greedy, being nice. There's a nice touch there from Aurora, so it has to be saved. Now X rotating back around too high, but beautiful opportunity turns awry. Now it's up to Baynock trying to put the pressure on. X catching it there, a dangerous ball here. A double commit means Cosmo has a chance putting it on. Taka can get there in time.
Nice pressure out of Cosmo Buster here, able to turn around on this one. X makes an awkward touch out into the mid, and the thing about center passes is they work both ways. Center that up, trying to get it to Taka. Taka continues back to the net, and Cosmo Buster finds a way to put it home.
Just an unfortunate error, and so now Cosmo Buster and company feel better. They're not down 2, they only need 1. Baynock putting it off the backboard as X tries to get a good 50 there, but that dominance is just a little bit too much of a pancake to get past. Instinct, the redirect attempt. No, he's going to slow it down for Baynock. Baynock putting it over Taka. Taka was used last time, but makes a big-time save there to deny the tie.
You could see that offensive rotation, though. They were looking for that bump. They were looking for that physical play to take out that last defender, find a way to open up the net. I love to see it. Sooner or later, that's going to come together if you don't find a way to shut that offensive attack down long before it develops that far.
Aurora finding some aerial antics of their own, able to sneak that ball past the last defender as Baynock puts it up there. Boise State trying to find some offense here. Instinct, good 50 there from X, and just kind of keeps it on this side, bouncing around. Aurora has to get it past 1, ends up doing it, has to get it past Baynock. Another nice touch. There's going to be no one home this time, though, as Instinct turning it away. X, though, there in time is the pressure. Now it's shifted sides. UAH being beautiful here. Baynock, soft touch, but Aurora able to get the save. Cosmo with a nice 50. So I just say that Boise State tries to clap back, and now the ball kind of ping-ponging around, firing around this arena as Instinct finally clears this one away.
And now it's back down in UAH's end, a scramble to chase it down. The one thing I've noticed, though, on the side of Boise is they're getting a lot of double commits in the defensive end. When you threaten their net, they're very eager to send 2 players, leave themselves vulnerable on that further attack. Instinct looking for one. Now they're getting their own attack down. That's just barely touched away by X, and then Aurora, with all of the patience in the world, waits for that to sit and controls it out. Now an opportunity back the other way, and they just don't quite find it.
Oh my goodness, slow play 2 OP, and then taking it from goal to goal, trying to go coast to coast for the goal, unable to find it is Aurora. Now they hit on the ball again, looking for X, the soft touch there. Aurora pass to pass, 1 to 2, 2 to 1, but not able to get it this time. Instinct now, counterattack opportunity, has to be careful here, loses the ball. Taka too aggressive there as Cosmo puts it in and tucks it away to tie this one back up.
The perfect amount of boost. Cosmo taking advantage of this 50 from Taka, chips it up, and then rolls over perfectly to get that pop on that front flip, tucks it just above X in the net, and I love to see that awareness and that placement take advantage of just an awkwardly placed X, just a weird rotation, some awkward timing, and they find a way to tie this one back up, coming up on that 90-second mark.
He made that look so easy, Lars. That was insane. But Instinct there, a double demo coming out. Taka doing everything on this back half. That should have been 3 goals on them, but 2 big saves deny it. And so now Instinct, 1 to beat. That's going to be Taka again, this defensive stalwart here for the Chargers, as Aurora and Taka now with a 2-on-2 opportunity. Cosmo putting out the backboard, has to be careful here. X headhunting, looking for that goal. Able to get another touch off the wall, but not able to find it. Instinct just kind of thankfully getting this one out. No way that works.
Okay, so Instinct, I guess great instincts in playing that one down, getting that control play that we've asked for in the transition, and they just somehow, with the ball, are able to transition into the offensive zone faster than any player, but I believe it was Taka And then just a nice, easy touch over the top. Rolls that one home. The advantage to Boise State. And now they threaten to take this series in 4.
Well, now X and company, they don't like being down as Aurora trying to put the pressure on, but Baynock denies it this time. Boise State is comfortable protecting leads, but you don't think they're comfortable on their back half. They haven't been here a lot in the series. Cosmo Buster just kind of slow playing here, trying to make Aurora make a bad read, and so that's a good job by them, able to deny that pressure and flip it around. Cosmo with a soft touch, trying to pick on X here with a near post play. Taka with a huge bump there, denying that third aggression.
The physical play continues to just, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. Instinct trying to get an opportunity here again, and Taka picks up a savior medal. You identified him earlier, but it doesn't matter. Baynock off the wall.
That just flies up there. Taka, unfortunate touch. It kind of falls a little bit too far, and Pancake 2 OP if you're not in the dominance. I don't even know if the breakout gets there, but a beautiful job of just knowing the body enough to put that back just far enough and angle it in, and all of a sudden, Boise State trying to put this one away. Instinct denying that one. It just gets closer and closer.
Last few seconds, tick off the clock. This one's an opportunity, and with that, that is going to be Boise State taking this in game 4. They have taken down the undefeated University of Alabama Huntsville, and they've done it in commanding fashion. A little bit of a rocky go in game number 3, but they find a way to make it happen in game 4, late in game 4. Admittedly, it took them till about 90 seconds remaining to tie it back up, but they end up doing it, and look at that instinct. 5 saves. How do you beat a team that can put up 11 shots and one player puts up 5 saves?
Just an outstanding performance there in game number 4 there from Instinct. Very instinctual, you like to say, but just beautiful, just showing from all the guys. It was a buffet for them. Everyone got to eat. 4 goals, but that was huge. 1 goal for Instinct, a pair of assists, 5 big saves you talked about, and just unrelenting pressure. So beautiful here from BSU.
Yes. This has been just a huge win for BSU. They get the revenge of that earlier sweep. And like we said earlier, this is also an undefeated UAH. No longer.
No more.
They fall down to Boise State. And that does it for this matchup here between these two Champions Division teams. But that does not do it for us on our Rocket League here tonight. We have more coming up in just a minute. The Emergence Division in the West, Concordia University versus Concordia, Nebraska, a little in-house rivalry. I'm going to say this on behalf of Foof. Foof, thank you for joining us. You're going to have to stick with him later. I'm going to stick around for now, and you're going to see us after a short break.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Jeez, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.